This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Supporters of the Tavush for the Homeland anti-government protest movement led by Archbishop Bagrat Galstanian headed to the border village of Sotk in Armenia's eastern Gekhargonik region today for a rally against a border deal reached in April with Azerbaijan. Meanwhile, law enforcement yesterday issued arrest warrants for 5 of Galstanian's supporters on charges of hooliganism in connection with a protest last Friday in front of the Foreign Ministry building that turned violent. So far, 3 of the 5 are being held by police, while another has been put under house arrest. 1 more remains at large. Armenia's investigative committee has said the suspects swore at police officers, threw objects at them, and kicked a riot policeman's shield, releasing a short video as evidence. A lawyer representing many of the protesters has denied that the video shows anything illegal, countering that several protesters were injured by police when security forces tried to push the crowd back from the building. Protesters and civil society organizations have repeatedly accused officers of using excessive force. No officers have been charged with the crime so far. Galstanian plans to hold a large rally in Yerevan's Central Republic Square on Sunday. A senior Russian diplomat has claimed that top Armenian officials have been avoiding contact with their Russian counterparts since late last year, adding that Yerevan's, quote, reckless decisions to move away from its defense agreements with Moscow may make future cooperation impossible. Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Galutzin told Russia's state-run TASS news agency in a wide-ranging interview published yesterday that this rift is the result of pressure from the West, which is trying to force Armenia to minimize ties with Russia. Galutzin, who oversees Russia's relations with other former Soviet countries, added, many of the risks that Armenia is facing today could have been mitigated if in 2022 Yerevan agreed to the proposal to implement a set of measures to stabilize the situation on the border with Azerbaijan through the Collective Security Treaty Organization. After Azerbaijan launched a massive 2-day attack on Armenia in September 2022, the CSTO, a Russian-led military bloc, offered to deploy monitors to the border. Armenia refused that offer in favor of a European Union-led mission, which was formally set up the following year. Now, for the first time, Galutzin has given some details into what exactly the CSTO offered, telling TASS, we were talking about serious initiatives, which included military technical assistance, the deployment of a monitoring mission, and assistance with training border troops. Continuing, Galutzin took aim at the EU's mission, claiming without evidence that they do not protect Armenia's borders at all, but instead are engaged in gathering intelligence against Azerbaijan, Iran, and Russia under the guise of monitoring. U.S. President Joe Biden has expressed his hopes for peace in the South Caucasus in a letter to Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev in the run-up to this year's Global Climate Summit in Baku. A durable and dignified peace agreement that ends decades of conflict would transform the South Caucasus and fundamentally change Azerbaijan's role in the region. The United States stands ready to support this noble ambition, Biden wrote, according to a copy of the letter made public yesterday by Azerbaijan's state-run Azertak news agency. To that end, Armenia confirmed yesterday it had sent its comments on the latest round of proposals for a normalization deal to Azerbaijan without elaborating. In response, Azerbaijani Foreign Minister Ceyhun Bayramov said today that the number of unresolved issues in the draft agreement has been reduced, and at some points, positive dynamics can be observed. There were no other details made immediately available. For the first time, Armenia voted yesterday in favor of an annual, non-binding resolution before the United Nations General Assembly recognizing the right of all displaced people expelled from Georgia's breakaway regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia to return to their homes. The move was widely seen as another rebuke of Russia by Armenia. Georgia's ambassador to Armenia called it a big leap forward in the two countries' strategic partnership. Georgia first introduced the resolution in 2009 in the wake of Russia's invasion the year prior. Armenia regularly voted against the resolution in deference to Russia until 2019 after Nikol Pashinyan took power, when it started to refrain from voting instead. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 2029. That's because the football federations of Armenia and Georgia submitted a joint bid today to host the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 2029, citing their good neighborly relations. Armenia intends to build new stadiums for the games in the northern cities of Dilijan and Vanadzor. Australia and Spain are also in the running to host. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.